Folks.
That's so good. Hey, you know what? You could say it. You could say it. You could say it. Folks, David here of the Vintage Future. This is Jeff, my good friend Jeff. You might already know him, Denim Dentist on Instagram. And yeah, we are wearing almost exactly the same thing, but we're just going to lean into that because it might be really, really cheesy, but it's actually our birthday weekend.
Yeah, we're almost birthday
twins or whatever you call it. Yeah.
1 day apart, same year.
Yeah. So he was born, and then the next day I was born.
So March 8th, March 9th.
1989. Same as Taylor Swift. But no one cares about that. Yeah, so we're just going to lean into the cheesy same fit thing.
What jacket is yours?
We're like Mario and Luigi or something like that. I don't know. This is an Imogene. I don't know how you say it. Imogene and Willie. Yeah, you had yours first.
Oh, yeah. Mine is a Paynter jacket, which is, they make kind of like chore jackets, which are almost like they're pre-orders. So they advertise what colors and what cut they're making, and then they drop it, and first come, first serve. They make the fabric before they dye it. So then you order what size, what color you want, and then I think they dye the fabrics and create them based on whatever the distribution of the order is.
That's cool. That's really, really cool. Yeah, I saw yours, and then I missed out on a couple drops, and they changed the pattern, and it was like, I wasn't sure if it was going to work, so then that's what inspired me to get this. And this is like one of my most worn items. I'm probably going to wear this thing out, which is good, right? You use the stuff, or you buy the stuff to use it, so. Okay, so today the goal is we're going to talk about denim, and I just thought it'd be super, super cool to get the denim dentist on to talk about our jeans and our whole raw denim journey and all that stuff. Yeah, we've got slightly different collections. We've got some overlap in our collections where we have some of the same jeans, but we'll be able to see on this video how they've faded differently according to just the way that we wear them, our lifestyles, different usage and stuff. So I'm super stoked to jump in. So let's start off with, what was your first pair of raw denim jeans?
First pair I got back when I was in college at Cal. It is this pair of Nudie jeans. I got into raw denim because my roommate was into it, so I thought it was cool, the concept of like creating your own fades. So I picked these up. I had no idea what I was doing or what I was buying. They were stiff, they were raw, they're non-selvage because I had no idea what selvage was. But they started out dark, and I just beat the crap out of them. I went with the whole non-washing thing for a long time. So fairly higher contrast for me. Zipper fly. I actually had these tapered at some point by some local random tailor, but they weren't selvage to begin with, so I didn't lose any chain stitch or the selvage ID. Also, without the chain stitching, there's not really any roping. So lost that.
They look really good though. Like, you did your first fade was really good.
Blowout repair done by another just local random tailor, patched it with some random denim.
Okay. Nice.
But so I beat these up. Some blouses in the pockets. I got a little tear here from jumping a fence when I was playing baseball. Lots of like butt blowouts, repairs. I'll always have a soft spot for nudies just because it was my first pair. Yeah. But I've definitely learned a lot since then. Denim care, what selvage means. Oh yeah.
Back of the knees.
Because they're skinnier, so.
Nice. Yeah.
Lately, because we've gone into more like straight cuts, don't get.
Not a lot of honeycombs.
Yeah, but that's my my story. Started back in 2004. No, 2000. No, college. 2008.
Okay, so I knew that was your first pair, but I didn't realize you got your first pair of raw denim so long ago. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I was like a sophomore in college.
Yeah, no, so like, cause I've worn like jeans and boots for a long time, like since junior high, but I didn't get into raw denim until like 2017, maybe 2016. But yeah, so that's not even 10 years yet, almost 10 years, but not quite, like 8 years ago. So yeah, mine are these unbranded jeans. Oh, yeah. I've done a video on these on my channel. I'll probably like link it in the description below, but yeah. And 21 ounce. Yeah, 21 ounce unbranded. So it's funny, as you were talking, I was thinking about your pair and mine, and I was thinking like, some of our best fades were before we knew what the heck we were doing.
Just winging it.
So it's like, I wonder if that says something to all you denim heads out there. Like, maybe let's not overthink it too much. Let's just wear the things and enjoy them. And then like, because both of these are sort of like a hybrid between like high contrast and vintage. It's almost like we both initially did that thing that most people did back then, where like, don't wash them at all for like 6 months or a year. And then after that, we started washing them a ton. And so then we got the high contrast with like some vintage fades on top of it.
Yeah, literally zero knowledge of how to fade denim. Just don't wash them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my story is like, I went to a Bible study at my church, and one of my friends showed up with this pair of denim that like, I could just tell when he walked in. I was like, dude, how thick are those jeans? And it was a pair of these. This is the straight fit from Unbranded. His was like the taper fit or something, but it just looked like, it looked like body armor. And I was like, what are those? And it was a friend that was originally from Seattle. So he lived by Blue Owl, and that's where he said he got them, but he had moved to California after that. So then he was telling me all about it. So I was like, okay. So then I ordered these, like literally first pair ever. And I just started wearing them. And yeah, this is one of those pairs. I don't know if you ever had one of those pairs, maybe like your Iron Hearts or something, where like there's like dye like coming off them onto your furniture and your hands and stuff. So that's how these were. They was just like chock full of indigo. And there was blue everywhere on my hands, on my legs, on my furniture. And I just was like, oh, I guess you're not supposed to wash them. So I just kept wearing them. And then, so this happened. So
they look great.
And I put them in the drawer, and I didn't look at them for a few years. And when I pulled them out, I was like, oh, wow. Like, I actually did a pretty good job with these.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be totally happy if my pairs now turned out looking like that.
Yeah, same, honestly. I honestly don't have another pair that looks quite like this.
You've got like the perfect amount of whiskering. You have beautiful honeycombs. You have the classic stacking sort of. Yeah. Like you didn't cuff it. You got the. Yeah. This is back like what I think is OG sort of like early raw denim.
Yeah.
It's like where you let it stack over. Yeah. I would wear it over like my Vans.
Yeah.
And like it would just stack.
And so I was wearing these with cowboy boots, and because they're a true straight, like, which is pretty rare, where like the knee dimension and the hem dimension is exactly the same. When they drape, they actually look like a boot cut or something. So they were essentially a boot cut, even though they're not, with the cowboy boots I was wearing at the time. And so hence the stacking, because I wasn't like flipping the cuff up like I do now.
I don't even flip the cuff anymore.
So I do like maybe half the time, like depends on which pair it is. But anyways, so that's the first.
Yeah, those are awesome.
The first, your first, my first.
Well, I had a period of where I was wearing and buying raw denim, and then I went through like a decade of where I was just wearing like the trendy elastic stretch jeans that were like really skin tight.
Yeah, totally.
Dark times.
Dude, yeah, I had they were comfy, I will say. But yeah, I had some like sevens for all mankind. They were like these super tight, stretchy bootcut jeans. Yeah. And it's like, I look back and I'm like, yeah. Maybe if I was like in the band Led Zeppelin or something, and then maybe that'd be fine.
Yeah, I had all the sevens. I never True Religion. I had like Rock and Republic.
Oh, cool.
Hudson jeans.
All this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. All right.
Oh, here, let me show you this pair. This is a pair that I bought again, I had no idea what I was buying, but this is a pair of 316s from early on, back when they were still like,
Oh, nice.
I think they're still like a Christian brand, where a lot of the stuff they're producing was like sort of Christian graphic tees and
Nice.
yeah. So this is, I don't know what kind of denim this is. It's gray, non-selvage again, raw. I wore them as like a dressier kind of pant, so there's not really any fades. But yeah, it's very interesting.
That's really cool. I honestly have never seen a gray raw denim in real life. Like I've seen them online, but
I honestly forgot I had these for like
it'd be like a subtle fade.
decade and a half. But yeah. So I don't know how many of these are still out there, or if 316 will see this and remember what this is. But yeah, this was probably back 2009,
Wow,
2010 maybe.
that's cool.
The only piece I have from 316.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think I've ever bought anything from 316. Not that I have anything against them, but
Yeah.
I just never have done that. So that's cool. Okay, so what jeans are like your favorite right now? Like what are you wearing these days and really enjoying? It could be like a few different pairs, but yeah.
Right now, my current phase, I go back and forth between really loving these, what I have on now, which are my TCB 505s.
Okay, yeah, cool.
These ones are they like a repro or sort of the 505 Levi's?
I think so, yeah, like
there-
the 505 is like the 90s Levi dad jean, right? So
Which
like,
I'm loving right
the
now.
cut
The
cut is amazing.
the 90s dad look, I'm loving.
Ah.
So I think in terms of not being too straight to where it almost gives off too much of like a workwear vibe, it's like a slim straight. So the leg opening is a little over 8 inches. It's a high rise, so I don't have the biggest lower body and like the fattest legs or whatever. So
Yeah, Asians unite.
yeah.
With
them flat butts.
With our skinny legs and flat butts, yeah.
So I found that this cut, it looks great because it's not too wide of a top block to where your butt looks like a mom butt. It's kind of droopy,
Yeah.
which I found sometimes with like my widest pair, the black signs, which we'll probably talk about later.
Yeah. No, that's a cool vibe.
sometimes-
if you like lean
yeah.
into it, yeah.
So you have to wear the black signs like a certain way for it to look good. But if you don't, like, it can make your butt look really saggy.
Right. It's like you don't want it to look like you have a saggy butt on accident.
Yeah.
But if it looks like you did it on purpose as like a vibe,
Yeah.
then that's like cool. Yeah. Not
Yeah. So these ones, it's a high rise, but I found that for my body at least, the thigh is like perfect to where it's not, there's never any restriction when I'm sitting or standing, but it almost like frames and lifts my peach butt, whatever, so it looks flattering for both, I don't know, men and women would probably classify it as like, yeah, it's a flattering cut. And then it's slim enough down the leg to look, you could dress it up or down. It's, at least when it's a dark indigo, it could look pretty formal. And then but it's wide enough with an 8-inch leg opening to still fit over pull-on boots.
Yeah.
So that's what I was kind of looking for, and I've been loving this cut. I have a second one, but I don't know if you want to.
Yeah. Pull them out. So you got these 505s from TCB, and then you have like your black pair.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I have the black pair, which is the same cut, the 505, but a size up.
So this is cool too because like I've never actually owned a pair of black raw denim, and then I've had a couple pairs of black jeans. I had some black Wranglers, and then like the 13 MWZ in black, but they weren't raw, so they're not like really gonna fade that much. And then currently I have some actual Levi 505s that are black, but again, not raw, not really going to fade, and that's okay. That's something I wear like as a specialty thing, like every once in a while. But anyways, tell us about the black ones.
Yeah. So I was talking to.
The back pocket's bigger than I realized.
Is it?
Those are big back pockets.
I think it's the same.
Hey, sorry
Is
to
it
cut
the
you off. No, probably the same. I think maybe because I've been wearing Wranglers a lot recently, and they had these tiny little back pockets. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah.
I cut you off.
Same cut, one size up, and that's because I messaged them on Instagram and asked them like, hey, if I got this size in black, I bought the black one first.
Okay.
Would I buy the same ones for the Indigo? And they said that because it's one wash. So they said the Indigo denim shrank more in the initial wash than the blacks did.
Oh, interesting.
So if I wanted a similar cut, they use the same exact pattern, but the Indigo just shrank more. So they recommended going a size, wait, I may have flipped that. I bought a size down. My Indigo pair is 33. This is 34.
I see. Okay.
Or maybe that means the black one shrank more. But actually, it was all wrong because the 34s fit a little bit more relaxed than my 33s.
Okay.
So, but they both fit great, both flattering still.
You already got good roping. That's great. How many like wears-ish do you have on these?
This one, I think 50s or something.
Wow.
In the 50s
So for anyone that
range.
doesn't know, that's Jeff's superpower is roping. Like, I don't know how he does it, but like virtually every pair of jeans of his has like mind-blowing roping by like wear 100, whereas mine, yeah, like we give you some.
You need some rope? I got some.
Yeah, we'll give you some close-ups on the video, but mine are always like okay, and his are like totally.
I get no other fades. Whiskers, none. Honeycombs, none.
Yeah.
Just roping.
Yeah.
It'll be like vintage fade and then just insane roping at the bottom.
Yeah. Well, I have I do some construction work on the side, but I have the dad fades, you know. So someday that'll be you too, you know. Dad fades, getting on the floor, playing with the kids, and chasing them across the yard. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Otherwise, because my lifestyle is pretty sedentary, so I'm not in the yard. I'm not doing any like electrical work like you are. So most of my fades come from just sitting on the couch after work watching TV.
But if you try to beat him with his roping, you will not do it. So you're an untouchable with the roping fades. So anyways, no, those are cool. Yeah, no, I can see how this would be like a favorite pair. I don't know what everyone's experience is, but like it's like I feel like you try different things in the denim hobby, and not everyone, but a lot of people end up more toward the middle. You know, you try the really slim stuff, you try the really wide stuff, and then on the day-to-day, like that really good middle of the road pair is often just like a great staple jean.
Yeah, and I found that my experience with TCB stuff, it's just like they're producing in-house, they're sort of like vintage inspired, but they're doing it at such a low price point where
It's crazy.
because right now I don't have any kids, but like you have several. But moving forward, like I don't know what my financial situation is going to be. But if I wanted to stick within this hobby, TCB still made in Japan, still has that like vintage inspiration. They're doing quality stuff, and then it's a little over like 150, 160 a pair.
Yeah, which is like honestly, there are plenty of Levi premium. There, you know, they've got like regular Levi's vintage clothing, and between the two, they've got Levi's premium or like Levi's made and crafted. Like there are those jeans and they're like $150. So it's like literally the same price as like just like a Levi. So it's an amazing deal. I don't have any of their jeans yet, but later on I'll show the jacket that I have from them, and I'm absolutely 100% happy with it. Like I don't think there's anything that I would change about it. It totally sold me on that brand.
I think for the price point, they do lack some of the like little details, like the raised belt loops. I don't think they have.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's by choice, but a lot of the 505s, they come with paper patches instead of leather.
I want to say it's because they're like strictly a repro brand, you know. So like they're other than maybe like lengthening the jackets versus the original vintage jackets or something like that. They try to stick with like because like for instance, like I don't like the paper or Jacron patch either, but my 50s jacket has it because well, I guess I could just pick it up. We'll talk about these again later, but yeah, my 50s jacket has it because it's a 50s jacket, and in the 50s that's what Levi was doing, you know. So anyways, but no, I
yeah. So I mean, you can't knock them. They're staying sort of true to their like repro sort of
roots or whatever, or focus their goal.
Like, but in would I ideally want like a leather patch? Like, yeah, but it's not the end of the world. And if I wanted to stay in this hobby, but couldn't afford or couldn't justify paying $300 for like all these other high-end jeans, like if I stuck with TCB the rest of my life, I'd probably be fine with that.
Oh yeah, no, dude, yeah. If I was, I don't want to be single. I'm like happily married. I got amazing kids, but like if I was single, yeah, I'd be wearing like $500 Samurais or something easily. Yeah, but that's not the life I have right now. So, I mean, I probably could save up and get those, but it's just like there's other things, even other things in the hobby. Like if I'm gonna spend that much, I think I'd rather buy like a nice leather jacket or something, you know. Yeah. But yeah. So let's see. What am I am wearing? Honestly. This is not popular, but I'm kind of a rebel without a cause. No, and I've been wearing Wranglers recently, which
I support it 100%.
So okay? If not that I hate Wrangler, but like if there was a brand who was doing like Wrangler repros, I'd probably buy that instead. The closest is probably Mr. Freedom, who you can tell by like the back arcuates and stuff that they're heavily inspired by Wrangler. But it's still not the same thing. Freenote had one version of their Wilkes jean, which was made in like a vintage blue, which was supposed to be some kind of a Wrangler, but I didn't like the back pockets. And there's a few other companies, but for the most part, nobody's doing a repro. And I think it's because Wrangler is making them essentially how they always have. So if you continue to make your jeans the way you always have, nobody's going to do a reproduction.
Oh.
Whereas like Levi's has, a bazillion reproductions because they don't make their jeans the way they used to, right? So in order to get that, you have to buy Levi's vintage clothing or you have to buy some other brand, because if you buy normal Levi's, like I went with my brother maybe like a month ago to the Levi outlet, and we didn't end up buying anything, but we were just trying some stuff on, and I tried on the 501 just to see like what is it like, and it fits nothing like a 501, like not even the slim one from the 60s. It's just a modern slim straight kind of.
Like they call it the 501,
Yeah.
but it's not.
Yeah. And I guess they've always done that, to be fair to them. Like literally they've continued to call it a 501 when it was, you know, like 1890 and you had like the cinch back and only 4 pockets, you know, in the 19 teens, in the 1920s, when now you've got the 5 pockets, and you know, 1937, you got the red tab and the 5 pockets, you know, and then it started slimming, and then World War II, you lost all the extraneous details like the crotch rivet and the back cinch and all that stuff. And all those iterations are all called the 501.
Yeah. You almost have to clarify it with the year.
Yeah. So to be fair to them, it's like, it's not like they've departed from what they've always done. I just think it's frustrating because like they sell it as like the you know, the original, the flagship, the 501, and you're like, but it's not. It's like it's some like weird travesty of the classic 501. I think you could probably argue the last time we had a real 501 that all of us denim heads would approve was like maybe the 66 model, or I don't know, maybe the 70s, I don't know. But anyways, I'm way off topic. So I've been wearing Wranglers because I've been really into like the historical side of denim in the last couple years. And Wrangler is something different, and I realized they didn't have a lot of airtime on YouTube. At least not the kind of airtime that I think they should have, you know. So I've been studying like Lee and Wrangler and Levi historic denim, and Lee, which is actually what James Dean wore, Rebel Without a Cause, all that stuff. That's something I'll get to eventually, but for now, like I'm loving the Wrangler. It's like this pair right here is the 936. I have these are my 13 MWZs, which is their flagship model. These I've worn for some months, and they've faded a pretty decent amount. Like they started out this color.
The same fabric?
Same fabric. It's their famous broken twill fabric. But these are the classic cowboy cut straight fit, you know. But as we said earlier, like I don't really have a butt, and I don't have really big legs, and so their 936 is the same version, but the whole top block, like from the knee up, is like slimmed out just a little bit. And so I feel like that's the only way I can get like that classic Wrangler fit where it's got the slightly tighter seat and thighs and stuff, but then the leg is still kind of straight cut.
What's the leg opening on that pair?
This one, it's the same as these. So it's like I want to say 8.5, which for me these days, kind of like your 505s. That's like perfect. I have 10.5 inch, 9 inch, 9.5 inch leg opening jeans here. But I think on the day to day, I'm really liking the 8.5. It's just a good all around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm liking. It's a bit of a slimmer cut, which is kind of that cool guy look, like your Paul Newman, Steve McQueen, James Dean,
Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen. It's like it is a slimmer look. I don't want them to look painted on, but kind of like your 505s, like something in the middle there, where it is. It shows your form a little bit.
Yeah, if you've got
it's relaxed,
like the figure, like you don't have to look like Scarecrow kind of straight leg everything. Like if you stay relatively in shape, you take care of yourself, like, and you have a decently slim lower body. Don't go painted on to where you look like upside down triangle, as Jake describes it. But like something that not necessarily painted on, but is flattering to your form, and isn't like restricting. That's why I don't like when it looks like your thighs are struggling to breathe. And
yeah, I think that's a good point. I think a lot of it has to do with, does whatever you're wearing look forced? So I don't think it's one size fits all. Like everyone should wear this kind of jean, everyone should wear that kind of jean. I think it has to do with like your body or lifestyle. If it looks forced in any way, whether stylistically or body shape or proportion, or maybe literally like they're just too tight and they look like they were forced onto you, like then if it doesn't look natural, then it just doesn't look right. You know?
That's one thing I always struggled with, because I'm a dentist.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like epitome of white collar. I literally have to wear a white coat to work. But when I was walking around in like my engineer boots and my black signs with like a 10+ inch leg opening, dressed like a, I don't know, workwear kind of guy, if I walked into work dressed like that, I would almost feel like an imposter. So I kind of had those like imposter syndrome sort of feelings when I don't wear the black signs much anymore. I still think the look is really cool, but in terms of my profession and like if I were just wearing it into the office, it's like costumey almost.
Yeah, no, totally. Like I wear my black signs as well, but for a while I was wearing them a lot, and then now it's more of a specialty item that I pull out like for certain things, you know.
So here's my black signs. So pretty low contrast. They start out super like dark, deep indigo. No yoke. The back.
That's one of the coolest things is no yoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the design of these, the pattern. Ooh. But you can see ours compared side by side.
Yours have like a lot of depth, and then mine have clearly been like used a lot and washed a lot. So they're...
You can see a lot more of the slub.
Oh yeah,
in your
vertical
denim
fades, as they say.
Mine, I think I used to do more bathtub soaks for my washes. So, but I found that a lot of my fades end up being a little more sort of like speckly almost.
Yeah, and that's honestly a really cool look. Yours have a ton of depth, and it's like as they lighten up, they're gonna get even better. Like it's interesting. So you've got like the buttons are really
straight
pronounced,
up,
wheread mine are super washed out. Because
buttons.
again, I think I washed mine a lot more because I'm using them for things where they get really dirty and stuff.
That's fun.
But,
like what made me buy these were the photos on Black Sign's Instagram, where he's like wearing them with his like boxing gloves and his motorcycle.
Yeah.
His looks so cool.
Yeah, his are way faded.
Yeah.
What made me buy mine was you. I saw you and I was like, that is such a vibe. And there really is nothing like it. But yeah, once again, the roping, your roping is like just absolutely
Like
insane.
yours in general are faded more, and then I just pull out my high contrast roping. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Olympian status roping, and mine is just kind of
I
regular.
don't do anything. I
but
literally just sit on the couch. I don't know.
Because you just like wear them. You wear your stuff really consistently, and then maybe it's also a function of like you wear it really consistently, and then you're washing it, and the way that your washer does it or something. I don't know. But,
I don't know. I didn't wash these
they look
as
cool.
much. This was before I started washing as frequently. They just fade really slow. Because I had these way longer than you, and they're still significantly darker.
Yeah. Yeah, these are really cool.
But maybe I'll add these back into the rotation at some point.
Yeah, mine are holding together pretty well. I had to hand stitch the crotch just a little bit on the seam. It started popping.
Is it
but it's been fine.
Cotton thread, or what is this?
I think it is cotton thread, but I'm not positive. But I put some poly thread on the crotch here, and it's held great after that. So I have thigh rub. I don't have massive thighs. It's just I think it's like
the
way my body. Yeah, the way my body was created. Thighs touch and it's like whatever.
Since my nudies, I've never had any blowouts or any needing repairs.
Yeah, for me, it's always there in the crotch. Again, it's just like I just think the way my body's constructed. Like maybe I have a narrow pelvis, and like the thighs just like which might sound kind of weird, but it's kind of frustrating because like it would be like a perfectly good pair of jeans. Like my warehouses, which I'll pull out in a bit here, they perfectly good pair of jeans. Everything else has got miles and miles to go, but I need to get them darned before I can wear them anymore, because otherwise I'm gonna have a massive blowout right there, just because like the very top of the legs, they're going like that, and it's like the seam is gonna totally bust. Same with my Naked and Famous jeans. Same thing.
I think I don't know if it's true with you, but with me, it's really interesting how your body, it almost creates the same fade patterns on whatever jean you're wearing. So like, I don't get whiskers and I don't get honeycombs, but I get the roping.
Yes.
But like regardless of whatever pair I'm wearing, it always sort of ends up the same.
It's true. Like the same is true of boots and stuff. Like there's just certain things on my boots, like you always see them. And they wear out faster than anything else, like heel drag or whatever. Like that just has to do with how a person lives. And so apparently with the jeans, the crotch thing, like if I walked all bow-legged like a cartoon cowboy, then I wouldn't have that problem.
But that just you want the whole point of this is for your jeans to reflect your lifestyle. You don't want to adjust how you live for your jeans.
Yeah, that's true.
So you don't want to like start walking like this.
Okay, fine. I won't walk around bow-legged.
Although I will say one thing I did change when I started focusing on fading jeans was I stopped putting my wallet in my butt pocket.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't want to deal with.
Oh, you don't like that impression, or what?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I always keep my wallet in like a jacket pocket because I didn't want phone fades or wallet fades.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah. See, I'm funny. That's one thing I've held on to. I don't do high contrast much, just like you. Like we used to do that, and we kind of moved away from that. We're more into vintage fades now, but like I've held on to that, so I'm always
I think it looks great.
Keep them in the back
for some reason
to get that impression. It's almost like this. It's like a milestone in my head. Anyways, it's like when I get to that point with a fade, then I know that I've really started to wear these a lot. Once I get that phone fade or the wallet fade, before that shows up, it's kind of like, is this really even a legit fade yet? That's like mentally how I mark, like, okay, this is really going to town now.
I think I stopped putting my phone in my front pocket because I was like, I already suck at getting whiskers. This phone is going to make it even harder to get whiskers.
Yeah.
So I didn't put it there, and I still don't get it.
I hear that. Yeah, totally. Well, maybe let's talk about some of the other ones that we have in common. So like the warehouse. You got your warehouse over there?
I have several. I have 2 pairs of warehouses. That whole adventure.
Yeah.
So I bought mine.
Tell me about it.
Online. I bought it from Son of a Stag.
Okay.
Off their sizing website, whatever.
Yeah.
So I first got this one. which is size 33,
And this is a 1001?
1001.
Okay, so mine is too. And is your other pair 1001?
It is.
Okay, so you have two pairs of
I
1001.
have two pairs of the same jeans, same fabric, same cut.
Banner denim. Denim.
Size 33, I got it. I shrank it. This was when I was first experimenting outside of as slim as possible. So I got the 1001 and I was like, size 33, this is too big for me. Okay. Like, it already felt uncomfortably too big. So then I went back online and bought them in size 31.
Here, let me hold the other ones up.
Oh.
Yeah. You can
So
hold yours up side by side first.
I also had them
The fades on
hemmed.
these are cool. Like, they're super marbled.
They're both marbly.
But anyways, sorry, I cut you off. Keep talking.
So the size 31, I had them both hemmed by Son of a Stag.
Okay.
I think I hemmed off like 3 inches, and I was banking on them shrinking. So I wanted that like almost high water. This is like blasphemous within the selvage denim world, but I wanted no cuff where I could wear them with like my like J.M. Weston loafers, and either you show your ankle or the sock shows.
Yeah.
I
remember.
So that's
you
what I was
them.
going for.
That was a good look.
Like a summer jean.
You had some benzene. What is it? Like a TD something.
Oh,
the black.
my TDD 02.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I designed with benzene.
Yeah, it's like a black derby shoe or something.
Yeah.
With the high water look, it looks really nice. Yeah.
So it's very clean. Like the 1001 is I think looking back, if it wasn't TCB, it'd probably be the 1001 cut that I would be like,
it's great.
it's classic.
It is very, very nice.
Yeah.
And
So
dude, gosh, these are beautiful.
the size
Like,
31, which I think I have
fades.
in my hand, I wore these every day for a year, washing them. I was super anal about it. I washed them every 30 wears, so once a month. And then for the first, I think like 8 or 10 months or whatever, it's on my Tumblr, my blog.
Oh, yeah.
Where I documented and took high quality photos at every wash.
We can link that in the description below.
So every wash, I documented exactly, I think the settings I use on my washer, the temperature, how long. So this is.
You're a scientist.
Oh yeah, that's the
this stuff.
the bioscience major in me. It was a lab report. So a little bit of honeycombs, whiskering, but the banner denim is insane.
Oh, banner denim is one of the best. It's
Yeah.
very, very cool. Very similar to the TCB 50s fabric that I have on my jacket, but even a little bit better. And I couldn't even put it into words. It's just
The texture is just
you sort of
so
have to
good.
like experience it, right? And like, I'm not the first to say this. I think Kyle and Jake on the Stitch Perfect podcast talked about this. Like,
Oh, this was one of their. It was up there.
yeah,
right?
one of the top ones. It was like this and the flathead Pioneer denim. It's like there's some of those fabrics that like you almost can't find a bad fade. Like you look on the pictures online. Whereas some jeans, like my Wranglers, like you'll see some Wrangler fades that are just kind of like, that's not very good. And some of them that are great. But you almost have to like intentionally try. The banner denim. It's just amazing.
So I think
you can't do anything wrong with it. It's just always
my
looks good.
personal taste, because I listened to that podcast. I think was the Flat House one there like number 1, or it was above this one.
No, but they both had it in their top 3, I think.
I think at that point when you're up in like the 1, 2, 3 range, if it's all personal preference at that point.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is all personal preference. But I would probably rank this higher than that. But I think that's because personally I'm not the biggest fan of the vertical slubbing. It's just a little too busy for my taste.
Yeah, I can see.
It's still great, but I think just the character and depth that banner denim has.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 year, and then so good. And then I got more into like just straight up more relaxed fits, and then I got to start over, and I wore them again. for like, I think this is less than a year.
So you kind of like fell back in love with them.
Yeah,
When you
at a more comfortable,
appreciated relaxed fit a little more at that point in time.
and then so I got to start over with the banner denim.
Yeah, these are just so beautiful. Like your fades are really nice. Just gotta say.
But and so these ones I still like the fit. So they're just hemmed to I think like a 28-ish inseam now, or 29.
Yeah. Nice roping, man.
So it's when I am going for that like high water look that I'll pull these out. But sometimes I wish I didn't hem it that short, because then I could wear it more universally.
Yeah.
But when I want that look, I have these. So.
Nice. Well, so here's my warehouse jeans. Yeah, and typical of the comparison of R2 jeans, like mine are typically gonna look more vintage fade just because I wear them really hard and wash them a ton.
The color cast is completely different. Like look at,
so yours they've maintained their darkness, but there's so much depth. Like there's like a bazillion details. Like, and then mine are like maybe less details. If you were to just like take a picture of like 2 square inches, but across the whole jean you see a lot of fading. You know.
Yeah.
But it's not like repair the back pockets.
You've washed them, so it's not like this is like a brown cast or whatever.
Yeah, I try to keep. Yeah, if they get dirty, I wash them.
But then look at the undertone. Like you've got that more like natural fade tone to the highlights.
Yeah.
But this is the same denim.
Yes.
So it's,
now these are slightly different in that this is the Duck Digger version, which is like their
more repro-y.
Yeah, even more historical. And we're talking granular details. Like, it's like the basic jean is exactly the same, but like, so like the patch is just slightly different. This is like a pre-aged patch, whereas that's like a new deerskin patch, which I honestly prefer that. But no, these are really cool. And they just
and you
have
left
to get
the arcuates on, right?
Yeah, I left the arcuates on, and they kind of wore off the back, and then I had to repair the back pocket just a little bit.
I love all the like Jake says in his videos, where you love how it's falling apart.
Yeah.
So as long as still like the integrity's still there and you can wear them, but the seams of the arcuates sort of like fading away, and the little repairs that you've done, like this little pocket stitch.
Yeah, the stitches on the pockets.
How'd you do that? Do you remember?
That's just from like constant wear. My phone goes in this back pocket, and I think if I sit down on the phone, like the corner of it eventually works its way through. But yeah, I got to get these darned. The crotch is not blown out, but if I wear these, it will blow out. So I need to get these patched or darned real quick.
And where did you had these hemmed?
Then I can keep. Yeah, so that was kind of a mistake. It was like, that's why I have no roping, is because I thought I wanted to do a giant cuff at the beginning, and then
so then you wouldn't see it.
After like, I can't remember how many wears. Maybe it was like over 100 wears. I was like, I can't handle this huge cuff. So then I went and got them hemmed so that it was like a micro cuff. It's like a thin double cuff. I can even wear them like with no cuff, and they just stack just a tiny bit, like a little break. But anyways, I lost all the roping because of that. But
is it chain stitch?
But that's okay. No, this is just like my local tailor person.
You still get some roping, so you have some.
Yes.
The non-chain stitch roping, they're just more vertical and less dense, I think.
Yeah.
That's like one thing I've noticed with like Naked and Famous jeans, the roll to their standard hem jobs, it's not as slim, so their roping
is
more
true.
vertical and less dense.
I couldn't explain it like probably a tailor could or whatever. But
it's more like this is
totally
like a quarter
agree.
inch. The Naked and Famous chain stitch is maybe like another 1/8 of an inch higher.
Yes.
So then
like here's mine, Naked and Famous, which we'll pull out again later when I talk about them. But just to talk about the edge, like
look at that. Comparing the two, it's like double.
Yeah, totally.
Which is all I don't know. It's Naked and Famous' style. They choose to do their chain stitches a little wider. Yeah,
the craziest I've seen personally was Freewheelers, Vanishing West. Their chain stitch is like super tight, super thin, and it causes it to bunch up like crazy.
Which I like.
Yeah, it's so cool. Very, very cool. Very cool. That's on my list at some point to try those jeans.
Yeah, but I have all my jeans, if I'm getting them hemmed, I go through a local Anthony.
Yeah, I got to do the same thing. I need to do that. That'd be cool. Or we could buy our own machine.
Oh yeah,
Probably not gonna happen, but that would be cool.
start our own.
Yeah.
We can make our own jeans.
Yeah, Jeff and Dave's hemming service. Well, let's talk about the Ooe Yofukutens.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that's exactly how you say it, but that is how I say it. Ooe Yofukuten.
You go first this time.
Oh, okay. So this is all thanks to Jeff, the denim dentist. So he got 2 pairs, one didn't fit, and so he got me into this pair. So I'm eternally grateful. No, yeah, definitely super, super thankful. Yeah, because they're super hard to find is the thing, and they're really, really nice. So I would say this is probably, arguably, like, if we're just being technical about repro denim, like it's probably like the nicest pair that I have, and I do wear it a decent amount. And I've been going for really vintage fades. Like I wash these quite a bit. I saw Jake's his Connor Sewing Factory jeans. He's had a few, but the one pair that he's kept the longest, it's like almost no contrast. It's like ultra vintage fades. And I was like, that actually doesn't look half bad. Like I never would have thought to try that, but it doesn't look half bad. And so that's kind of what I'm going for with these. Like I don't wash them necessarily like if they don't need a wash, but like it's not weird for me to wear them like, 3-5 times and then wash them. Whereas with the other pairs, it's probably more like 10 to 20 washes between, or wears between washes, This pair you got from Barnstormer Gotemba, and this is dead stock cone fabric, which is another reason why I'm so thankful to you is the dead stock cone fabric is a box I was trying to check in my denim journey. I know that it's not necessarily any better than anything, but there's just that like legendary aura because of like, the Greensboro cone mills, the white cone fabric, right? So to have that is like really cool because that's like the famous mill that made stuff for Levi, the golden handshake, if you will, the arrangement that Levi had with them to make all of their fabric. And so it's that, and then the blue is like a bit of a more vibrant blue, maybe not quite as much as like a Wrangler, but it's like that vintage, like, I don't know, soldier blue or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and so I'm starting to get some really cool roping. And
How are you washing it? What's your washing?
okay, so this is a good topic.
Look at that roping.
I know, this is like it's getting there. It's like possibly going to look like yours. I don't know.
Did you have them hemmed?
Oh yeah, so I took these to Standard and Strange when they were at their Oakland site. They're now in Berkeley, which both those sites are like maybe like an hour and a half drive for us to get up there. I tried to anticipate the shrinkage, but I didn't want to like accidentally make them too small. So I had them hem off like 2 or 3 inches, and they chain stitched it before the first wash. Because these are
It's always risky.
Yes, risky, because if you go too short, when they shrink, you can't stretch the jeans, obviously, so they'll be too short and you can't wear them. But these are all shrink to fit, these and the other ones that Jeff has. So I got them hemmed at Standard & Strange with their machine and then washed them. I was a little nervous. I had one other shrink to fit pair, which was my Flathead 3005 legendary jean, fantastic. That went well. But I don't have a lot of experience in it, and so I was like, ew, like what if I make them too small? So it was like inside out in my washer, delicate cold cycle, and I immediately pulled them out and like put them on just to make sure. The thing I was worried about was the waistband, to make sure the waistband, and sure enough, it was like a little snug. So at the recommendation of one of my friends, I just stretched the waistband out by hand a little bit, just like kind of pulled on it, kind of like went around, just kind of like pulled like that, all the way around a little bit while it was wet, and then put them on again and made sure I could button them. And then I just, hung them to dry, and they ended up like perfect. And since then, I actually For the most part, I've done the same washing and drying thing, but a couple times I've actually washed these on warm.
Do you have to pour it every time?
No. I think they kind of settled in. Yeah, and yeah, I've even like thrown them in the dryer on low inside out. Not a lot, but like, yeah, one time I just wanted them. I wanted to like wash them and then wear them like the next day, so I did that, and they've been fine. So, yeah, it's like as far as I know, this is based off of the 1947 Levi 501, which is like arguably like the classic blue jean. Like that is the one that all modern blue jeans are based off of in some way, shape, or form. Like when we think 5-pocket blue jean, it's the 1947 version of the Levi 501. So that's what these are, as far as I understand. I'm not positive, but yeah, no, they're great. So kind of low contrast. I got some whiskers.
That's higher contrast than my whiskers. So
yeah, I mean possibly because I washed them more too, though. But I don't know. But anyways, I'm really, really loving them. Green herringbone pocket bags, which is kind of like their standard, I think. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other thing here. Don't they have like a... Oh, it's right here. Yeah, these were made in 2017.
I had them for a while, sitting.
Yeah, pretty cool.
And that's because, so, I don't know if you're done.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done.
So I bought these right around the same time that I bought these. These are my OA-01s, so it's a different cut.
Okay, so this is an OA-03.
Yeah, so I bought the OA-01 and OA-03.
Okay.
This one's a little slimmer, but this one is a size 33. And I think one thing OA is sort of known for or infamous for is a ton of shrinkage.
Yes, yes.
So I bought these size 33. I was advised to size up by Paul. What's his name on Instagram? Partial to Vintage.
Yeah, he's in like Australia. Or whatever. Yep.
He told me to size up, and I did not listen to him, and all the regrets now.
Sorry, Paul.
But I wore these for like almost a year. But so you can see how they've lightened up. General, pretty low contrast. Actually, for me, this is pretty high contrast.
Yeah, it's a nice mix. That's great.
But just so slim on the waist. Like with every wash, I feel like they continue to shrink more and more in the waist. I can get them on, but it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
So, and because they're so tight in the waist, they end up sitting a little higher. So I almost feel like there's always just a slight wedgie going on.
Oh, yeah.
So when I see like photos from my Instagram that I take, I see my butt. I'm like,
Yeah, no, I don't like the wedgie either.
Yeah.
Personally, yeah.
Some people like it, like
yeah.
Orslo, like is it Orslo? Resolute's the brand that I was trying to think of. That I really like the cut of their jean, but the back rise is always like sub 14 or like 14 inch, which personally I think I found my sweet spot for back rise to be like somewhere between 15 and 16 inches.
Yeah, I'm the same. 15 to 16 and a half maybe. But then if it's 16 and a half, then I like the front rise to come down a little bit to kind of like make up for it. I don't like the like our black signs. It's like 17 and a half inch back rise and then like 15 inch front rise or some insane thing. It's a little high for me because I'm not in. I like the idea of it, but I don't want to like wear that all the time. Like an actual
like where you hike it up.
Yeah, it's like a 1800s minor, like a waist overalls. Yeah, I don't
Yeah. But anyways, so wedgies with this one. That's the one downside with this because the waist shrank so much that I've got that sort of perpetual wedgie. But the fades I think look great. Vintage with a little bit of contrast. Got a lot of puckering around all the seams, the raised belt loops, the roping.
Yeah, no, your fades are nothing to be embarrassed about. Like, they are really, really nice. They, as I keep saying over and over, they just have a lot of like depth and character is such a cliche phrase, but like they truly have a lot of character. Like I said, like yours, I think if you took like a 2-inch by 2-inch square, there's so much going on there.
What it is.
Whereas mine in a 2-inch by 2-inch square, there's not a lot going on. But if you look at the whole jean, there is. Yeah.
Not to knock like the natural indigo, if you pull that one down,
So this is my
and you look at just a
my naked
2x2 cutout of the denim.
Yeah, mine's just a lot more washed out usually.
But I don't get most of my fades. I don't get just like a generalized lightening. It's all very speckly.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. My washer? I don't know.
Probably partly, yeah. Washer, also how you wear them. Yeah, I don't know. But it's cool. It's really cool. And none of them look exactly the same either. It would be kind of a bummer if they literally all looked like identical, but they don't. Like they like just genuinely, or this, you could tell it's like the same. It's like if we didn't know they were yours, we could tell, oh, these probably all are worn by the same person, but they're definitely not like carbon copied or anything like that. Okay, so what about?
So that was my OA-01s.
Okay.
So those are 33, and then I bought those also 33, having not worn them yet.
Mine, yeah.
Either one.
Yeah.
And then after fading the OA-01s and finding that the size 33 waist was too slim, I still had the OA-03s unwashed raw. And then I was like, I'm not even going to get into this because I know that they'll probably end up being too slim in the waist.
Yeah.
So then I put it on Instagram to see if there was any like interest on selling them. I don't know if it was because it's too niche that they didn't get many bites. Then I just let you have them.
Yeah, I'm grateful. Yeah, it's cool.
But they fit you, and yeah, they're looking great. So
yeah, as far as like the truly classic straight leg, that one's probably my favorite, and that's what everyone says about Ooe, right? They say that it's really about the fit. Like their patterns are incredible, especially as a skinnier guy. Like I like a good straight fit jean with the wide legs, but if I get the wrong dimensions, there's this hip flare thing I get, and I don't really get that with the Ooe. It's just really nice, handsome looking jean, which is, by the way, like a rant I have of like, with as much effort as all these companies put into sizing charts, the one dimension that they don't put, which I think all of them need to start putting, is the hip measurement. Like you lay the jeans flat and measure across the hip, because
it makes a huge difference.
It's a thing. Like I could show you 5 different pairs of jeans that have identical waist measurements and thigh measurements, and all 5 of them have a different hip measurement, and so they're going to look different on you. They're going to fit different.
Yeah.
And
like
sometimes
your butt changes.
Yeah, people assume like, oh no, you don't need the hip measurement. You just get the front and the back rise, and it's like, no, that's literally not the same thing. They do correlate. They go together, but I think we need that extra measurement. Yeah. So, anyways, if we ever make jeans together, we will do a hip measurement, and everyone will love us. So yeah.
One thing I also like, another tangent, is Resolute.
Okay.
They size their jeans because they also have inseam lengths that you could pick from.
Oh,
so that way, and then they still keep the pant leg so you don't hem off, like.
Okay, that's clever.
Because then, say at a 34-inch inseam, your leg opening is like an 8. But then like, oh, I'm a shorter guy, you hem off 5 inches, now your leg opening is like a 9.
Yeah.
So they custom like produce their jeans, and you can buy them based on the inseam, but then the cut still sort of has that about the same leg opening, because you don't have to deal with hemming off some of the taper or whatever.
Cool. Resolute, I have no idea who you are until today, but from now on I'm going to pay attention to you because that sounds really cool.
Yeah, so I think if we were ever to have our own jean brand, that's one thing I think is cool, because then if you have I think it makes the biggest difference for like bigger folks, where like your waist size is like a 38, but you still want like it's not like your wider waist size and like your foot size, Like if you're just trying to get like a slim straight,
Oh,
but you're size 38,
Yes.
like the taper to get a similar leg opening is going to be completely different within like the same cut for like someone like you or me.
For sure. No, I feel bad for, like when people that have a wider waist get the straight fit jeans because, once they hem them and stuff, then like, the leg opening's like the size of a watermelon. It's like, this is not a good pattern.
Yeah.
And, you know,
So then to create your patterns based on like inseam length, I have no idea. I'm sure it's a much bigger headache from a production standpoint because it's no longer like 12 sizes. You also have to go 12 by like, I'm making 3 or 4 different inseam lengths.
Right,
And they're all different patterns because you're tweaking the amount of taper.
Yeah. Honestly, that might be the next thing is like if a raw denim brand specializes in denim for people above a certain waist size, they would make a killing and have like a cult following because
In America,
no one's
because
doing that.
Americans are bigger
Yeah, no, I mean
than
they
the
are
rest
bigger.
of the world.
Yeah, so like my daughter was born and the doctor kept saying that it was like failure to thrive almost. Like she's not gaining enough weight, she's not big enough. She's like, her BMI is bad, you should worry. And my wife was like really distraught and like crying and stuff. But I'm Asian, you know, my mom's Filipino. And I was like, wait a second. So we went and we found the Filipino BMI chart and she's like 70th percentile, you know? So, you know, and now she's grown a lot more because, you know, now she's older, but when she was a baby, it was like, no, she's like right on the money, like as far as like the Asian size chart. But over here, we have like, you know, Dirk Nowitzki and like LeBron James and all these people like throwing the curve way off. And then they tell people like us that we're like, you know, failure to thrive. And we're like, I'm fine. I'm totally healthy. Yeah, totally. So.
But so this is my pair of OA-03s. Back on topic.
Okay, yeah, back on topic.
So I still wanted the OA-03 cut, but I wanted to size up. So I got these, I think, from Standard and Strange. So got these size 35 and then gave you the 33s. And these ones fit great. Actually, it took a while for me to actually be happy with the fit 100% because 35 is pretty big. But I blasted these in the washer dryer for a couple rounds. And I feel like they didn't really like fully, or all the shrinkage didn't come out until like 10 washes in. Every wash, it continued to tighten up just a little bit more and more. And now I think they fit great. There's much less, there's no butt sag. The waist is a comfortable measurement.
Yeah, with shrinkage, I feel like you have to try 10 times harder for the last 10%.
Yeah.
That's like kind of what I found with my jeans too. Like because it's like it's the cotton fibers constricting, right? And so they'll easily constrict like the first 90%, and then that last like 10% is kind of unnatural, honestly. And so you have to like bake them with like hot water and hot dryer, hot water, hot dryer. Anyways, keep going.
But I'm super happy with how they turned out.
They're gorgeous.
I didn't hem them. So
this is factory
So this is
hem.
the factory hem. Turns
Wow.
out I still get good roping with factory hem from OA.
Look at you. But how much extra do you have? Like, is it too much?
So I've also been very into the no cuff look more recently because, I mean, I don't know, way back people would just cuff them because like, oh, jeans, workwear, I'm just wearing these when I go in the mines or whatever. So they would just have these gigantic fat cuffs.
Yeah.
But then through that sort of era that I was like really looking at, no one like cuffs for style. They're more like at the proper length.
Yeah.
So,
Or if they cuff, it's like because they had to because the jeans are too long or whatever. Yeah.
so like, and then if you're like cowboy boots and stuff, they don't typically cuff with those either. But these ones, sometimes I do wish I hemmed off maybe like an inch or two.
Okay.
Because when I don't cuff them, they stack a good amount. Too late, I don't want to lose my roping, but but otherwise they're great. At the full length, if I leave them uncuffed. There's a little stacking, but it is wide enough of a leg opening to where they almost flare, like how you mentioned.
Oh, on the unbranded, right?
With the slightly wider leg opening, and it being pretty straight, it almost looks like a boot cut. Slight flare, even if it's not. So that's what I get with these when they're uncuffed. But then I can cuff them, single cuff, single solid cuff for like laced boots. Engineer boots, I could do like a Tokyo cuff or whatever that is. Get it like the cuff a little higher.
Yeah.
So I found this cut to be like super versatile, just classic. I think these ones, if I'm wearing like an engineer boot, I like how these drape more than the 505s. Just 'cause it has like an extra quarter or half inch in leg opening. So it just kind of drapes over laceless boots a little better.
Yeah, it's a great cut. Like
The 03?
Yeah, and anything that's sort of that dimension, like a 9-inch leg or so, like I can't wear it as much to work. I think like an 8.5-inch leg looks a little more contextual because I'm working at a church meeting with people and stuff. Not that I have to look the same, but like there's something about like wider leg that doesn't look as formal.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna, in our culture, right, for 90% of people, if you're looking like dressed up a little, looking professional, that means you're not wearing a wide leg. I think some people do it. Like Jake does a great job at that. He looks really nice, but also has a nice wide leg. It doesn't work as well for me, so I feel like an 8-inch or 8.5-inch leg is better. So I don't wear these to work as much, but on my casual afternoons, evenings, or weekends, like it's just like a killer cut to wear. Yeah. Very, very nice.
Oh, one thing I did notice with OA patterns, the front belt loops are a little close together.
Oh,
Have you noticed that? Like,
You know,
like
I've-
when you wear a belt like this,
Right.
where it's a strong
Yeah, because
buckle.
look at this. So the Wrangler, this is like the belt loops are way over by the pockets.
Yeah.
This,
But I'm gonna reach into his crotch, but it almost frames.
yeah, like the belt buckle barely fits between them. Yeah.
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 So it was true with my 01s and the 03.
Yeah.
Like this just the OA pattern.
Yeah. The other weird thing on mine, anyways, the buttons, they're kind of loose,
Yes.
and I thought it was a defect.
I
but they're
feel like
all
they
that.
rattle a little bit.
They rattle, yeah. So it's like, I think it's a vintage detail, I assume.
I assume
not
because
gonna come
it's
off
on
them.
all my OA pairs.
Yeah.
Like the buttons will rattle. a little
Yeah, they seem loose. So when I first got them, I was like, "What the heck? I got defective buttons or whatever." So, but then you're like, "No, it's
bit.
just
No, it's
their thing."
mine too.
So yeah, if you get Ooes and they come in and the buttons are rattly, don't worry.
They don't fall out.
it's-
There's nothing.
yeah.
The integrity of them is fine.
I assume it's like a vintage detail to be enjoyed
Yeah.
versus like a defective product. Yeah.
My leather patch is.
Oh wow, it's like really worn.
I didn't want to cook it, so before because I would just throw them in wash on hot, dry, or
Yeah.
I would coat it in some conditioner.
Okay, so you do that.
'Cause
I
didn't
do
want
it after. If I dry my jeans, I do after. Yeah, I'll put some conditioner, some Big 4 or mink oil,
Yeah.
just rub it in there. Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
put-
some of them have been like fried and like a potato chip and
Yeah.
kind of crusty, and you want them nice
It's
and
never
supple.
happened to any of mine, but I think it might be because I try to actively prevent it. So I would put a layer of Venetian shoe cream on, and then I'd throw it in.
That's a good idea.
And then after it came out, usually it was still pretty supple coming out, but then if it needed more, I just rub a little more on.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why my patch is so dark.
yeah, possibly. I don't know. Wait, that's really cool.
But yeah, I love these. This is when you ask me what's my favorite pair, I go between my OA-03 and my 505s.
Okay, so your TCB 505s and your always
Are my current rotation. I go back and forth.
For me, it would be, I said, I was wearing the Wranglers a lot. And that's not to say they're my favorite jean of all time. I'm just saying that's currently what I'm into. And then probably the one I've worn the most is these Naked and Famous True Guy jeans in natural indigo. I've worn them a ton. These have about 225 wears on them. I can't remember how many washes. A lot of washes, though. And so they're very washed out, very light. They started out looking almost like these Wranglers in color. And then now they're like this. Yeah, I think the reason I wore them so much is because they're kind of a novelty in my collection at the time. Like most of my Indigo started as you would expect, that dark indigo. It's so dark blue, it's almost black, right, when it starts. And these were like 50% lighter than normal raw denim. And so I thought to myself, like, oh, maybe it'll be easier to get to a light shade faster, you know, without using bleach. And that's what happened. So they're nice and light. And again, these are gonna have to be repaired in the crotch at some point. Right now they're fine, but they're pretty worn, like in the on the seam, just from my thighs, like, you know, rubbing together. But hopefully that's repairable when the time comes, you know.
Yeah.
But the natural indigo fabric that Naked and Famous uses, I highly recommend it. It's samphorized. So
I've almost bought it so many times. How many times have I sent it to you?
Yeah,
for the past year?
It's probably like at least once a month. Yeah. It's a cool vibe. Whether you're looking for that, like that cowboy vibe, because it looks like a Wrangler, or maybe like a summertime denim vibe with like lighter fabric, or you were showing me the groovy guy jean, where it's like a flare pant. That's a super cool like 70s, like lighter natural indigo look. They're all it's cool. Yeah.
If I don't own any flares or flare jeans, but I've been drooling over the Naked and Famous groovy guy cut for probably over a year now. I send it to you all the time.
Yeah.
And
I'm a supportive friend. I'm always like, yeah, buy them.
But I think the biggest reason I haven't pulled the trigger is because I have so many that I am trying to work on. It's hard for me to justify another denim to try to work into my rotation.
That's mature of you. Yeah. No, totally. I have my list too of like, in 2 years, maybe I'll get this pair. Yeah.
So, at some point I probably will buy those, so do not discontinue the groovy guy cut. But now that freaking Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl wore those, now it's like trendy to wear the flare jeans.
Yeah, his were weird though. Like, I feel like I've seen some flare jeans that like, there's like this gradual flare. I felt like his were almost bell bottoms, where it's like almost like straight down and then blam at the end.
Extreme flare.
I was like, whoa, that's a lot, you know. But yeah, people are raving.
Part of me is like, now I haven't pulled the trigger because it's too trendy. I'm not like trying to like look like I'm following like, oh, the trend now is flare denim. So now I buy it, even though I was looking at it for the past like year 2 years.
Yeah.
Now that if I bought it, it could look like I'm like, oh, Kendrick Lamar.
Well, that's like the black signs, 10.5-inch leg opening. We've both been wearing them for several years, and then all of a sudden, you know, end of 2024, beginning of 2025, 90s wide leg denim is super popular.
Kids
and
are
trendy.
sagging again.
Yes, cargo pockets, all the horrible things, all the atrocious crimes of the 90s have come back. But it's like, so people see my black signs, they're like, oh, dude, that's so fashionable. I'm like, oh, don't say that. It made me want to not wear these for a while. Because I was wearing these before you were, and I'll be wearing them when you're not wearing yours anymore. But snobs that we are. Okay, so show me some other of the jeans, now that we're kind of through all the similar pairs.
So I have a couple pairs left here. This is the pair I bought, my first pair back when I started getting into raw denim again after like a decade of
I did not know you had those.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
So I had just started working as a dentist, and then I had bought a pair of Iron Rangers, and I was like, I created an Instagram for, actually no, I hadn't created an Instagram yet, but I bought the Iron Rangers, and I was like seeing pictures like, oh, all these people that have these like Iron Ranger boots also have like selvedge jeans. Like, oh, I used to have like raw denim back in college. Maybe I'll like test it out again. I'll see if I still like it. So I bought this pair of Bravestars.
Yeah, I didn't know you had these. Like, as many times as we've talked, I had a few pair of Bravehearts. I got William Wallace on my mind. Bravestars.
Yeah.
And got rid of them long ago. But these are cool. These are cool.
But
whoa, those are skinny.
They're so skinny.
Wow, I didn't see the leg.
So when I was first getting into them, these are way too skinny for me. Waist, thigh, all the way down.
Yeah, what is this, like 7 inches? Maybe 6? I don't know.
It's probably like 7-ish.
Yeah. No, that's skinny. That's pretty skinny. Big old thick patch.
Because I bought this. I wore them for a little bit. I got a little bit of, oh yeah, this is before I stopped putting my wallet in.
Oh, yeah. It's a beautiful fabric.
Yeah, it was affordable. That's why I got it, is because I wanted to test it to see if I would get into raw denim again.
Yeah.
And then I wore them, got some fades, phone fade.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, oh yeah, I like this. And then I bought, I don't have them anymore. I bought the PBJ Black Owl collab.
Oh, that's cool. Or Blue Owl.
Indigo
Yeah.
overdyed black pair.
That's cool.
I had those tapered to be a 6.5-inch leg opening.
That's tight. That's really tight.
So
That's like you can barely get your heel through tight.
Yeah, I have to snap my heel through every time.
Yeah.
And then I'd almost have to take them off. Oh, they were long enough where I had to do the Tokyo cuff.
Okay.
And then when I did that, it was way harder to get my heel through. So whenever I took them off, I'd have to undo the cuff and almost like roll the pant leg inside out to take them off every night.
That's nuts.
But I liked how slim it was and how they sat on my Iron Rangers. I had a few Thursday boots.
Yeah.
So I liked how it sat on the boot.
Yeah.
But yeah, 6.5 is no joke.
I had a couple pairs of Bravestars like that, like an Oni, and then some Naked and Famous jeans like that, where they were like 6.5. Yeah, and that's quite the phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like, not in a good way. I mean, hey, if that's your look, that's your look. But
I had these.
I've
never talked about them, but
yeah,
but the fabric. I mean,
fabric is nice.
Affordable.
It looks almost like the Kaihara weave that that Freenote uses.
Oh look.
Oh wow!
I used to with a Sharpie track the wears on the inside pocket.
That's so cool. Throw a picture up on there when we have a chance. Yeah, that's cool.
I forgot I did that. But
sweet.
Yeah, so I have these still. I didn't sell them because I didn't know how anyone would want that. And then I think after that, I got the PBJ ones.
Okay.
Which are super slubby. PBJ is known for their like slubbier denim.
Crazy looking denim, yeah.
Then I got these. These are my Iron Hearts, 25-ounce.
Iron Heart.
These. I want
to try Iron Heart.
I sized these too big because I still had no idea how washing denim worked.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, they're probably going to shrink when I wash them. I got like no shrinkage because it's sanforized.
Yeah.
So they stayed too big.
You can shrink it, but it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I had the waistband brought in.
Oh, cool. That actually turned out pretty good.
Anthony did it.
Okay. That patch is insane, dude. That's literally like the thickness of a belt.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So he slimmed the waist and slimmed the leg. So I think look at this.
Wait, so which cut is this?
This was the 777. But then it's completely its own thing now because I changed the waist and changed the taper.
It's a beautiful denim. Like my Unbranded 21 ounce is nice and thick. But it's almost like this utilitarian fabric.
Yeah.
It's good for fading, but this is like thick, but also like luxurious.
Yeah. Like,
wow.
It feels like armor.
Yeah.
When you wear it. Like when my leg itches, good luck. Like.
Yeah.
Or like,
you have to hit the bathroom
edit this out. You're like, when your ball stick to your thigh, and you're like, I can't. Yeah. And you're in public, and you're like, I can't. This is.
You're just.
I can't get it.
You just gotta pray.
You just accept it. It's like. If I have to edit that out, but yeah, the fades.
We're gonna leave it.
Look at the depth.
Leave it.
You got the 25-ounce, higher contrast, super thick roll fades.
Dude, it's beautiful.
It's definitely a look. So
yeah,
if you want this look, Ironheart, like, because it starts out that super super dark, deep, rich indigo, and then they're super stubborn faders, but when you have this weight, you get the thick, very defined creases.
What is this, 25?
Yeah, 25.
Wow.
So you don't get these thick fades with like the denim that we like now.
And it's crazy. So my whiskers are like stereotypical whiskers. They just kind of go across. Yours are like, this is like a zigzag almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's crazy.
Because that's the crease right here.
Yeah.
Crease like that.
Yours is literally like, it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
So I will say, even though both of us are kind of out of the high contrast fading game right now, out in public, if you want your jeans to be like a head turner, the high contrast is kind of the way to go. Like, as much as we love vintage fades, from average people, they see that, they just think it's just another pair of jeans. Like, why are you so excited about this? This might not be what someone likes, but it will turn heads. People will ask questions like, that looks insane. What are those? You know?
Yeah. So like the way you got into the hobby, like
Yes,
he had like insane fades. So
Yeah.
if you see yourself more as like a denim head and you want either the insane texture or the like insane fade patterns, like you either go for fade patterns, like the heavyweight denim, you get some insane fades. Like Ironheart does a great 25 ounce. And then I used to really like the 32 ounce fades from Naked and Famous.
Yeah.
Those fades were insane. But because what's cool about Ironheart is their denim from the start looks the same because it's such a uniform, there's like very little slub or character to the fabric. It's almost like people describe raw denim as like a blank canvas. When your denim starts out so uniform, like Ironheart's does, it's almost like a blanker canvas. And then you really create all that fade and character yourself.
That is really cool. Yeah, no, they're beautiful. Yeah, so if you're like if you have that like exhibitionist personality,
Yeah, like
get some 25 ounce Ironhearts and don't wash them very often. You
Yeah.
get your high contrast fades, yeah.
because now I think you and I are more into creating, like I like the vintage fade look, which is almost just like, oh, I want to make my jeans look like the mall jeans that everyone else can buy.
Yeah,
but it's like
basically.
in my own head, it's just
Yeah.
like I made these fades.
Yeah, totally.
Even though they're so generic.
Yeah. I mean, I will die on that hill, as I know you will too, that like, even though it does look like the generic fade, mine are better. And like, guarantee, like my wife, who she is a loving wife, so she like supports me in my hobby, but honestly doesn't care about the hobby. You know, I'll be like, which fade do you like more? And she's like, I don't care. Even her though, I recently picked up some like actual Levi's with like fake fades, you know? And she was like, your other ones just look real. Like there's something about that fade that just, it's authentic. Like,
Yeah.
so even people who aren't into this stuff, they can tell.
They don't know what it is about it.
Yeah.
Like I think maybe like you and I could pick out your natural whiskers don't line up with those artificial whiskers.
Yeah.
But that's another thing that I think Jake has mentioned it before in his videos is the fades on your jeans look way more intense on the floor than they do on body. And I think it's because the natural like creases you're getting when it's on body, it almost disguises your fades with shadows.
Yeah, well, because you're like, you are the body that created this
Yeah.
fade, so it just looks so natural because it's like
Yeah.
pulling around the leg and all that, you know.
Yeah. But then when you flatten it out on the floor, you're like, oh dang, look at these whiskers.
Yes.
Look at these combs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Those are cool. So the cool thing was, so I've seen a lot of these on Instagram, or like I've seen them on our Zoom video we did one time, but real life is just better. Like even with, you have a really nice camera and you're really good at using it, you know, but even then it's not the same.
oh, check this out. I haven't shown this to anyone.
Oh, okay. Oh, what? Okay, we got up with that. How did you do that? It's like it's a tooth
I went
for the denim
I went
dentist.
online and I purchased some just like random leather
Okay, yeah.
and I cut a tooth-shaped leather and I kept it in the pocket.
Okay, so that's a good idea.
So now,
I like the coin pocket idea a lot.
so now this is when I was like the heart of. I think I was wearing this when I changed my Instagram handle to the Denim Dentist. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have a tooth fade in my jeans.
See, okay, so this is cool. I think this should be a trend because sometimes people will put like the charm in their back pocket to get like a star fade.
I've seen the
yeah.
What's that? The one that gives that little leather medallion with the Pinterest crafting.
Okay, yeah.
They gave that little leather medallion and people would keep that in their pocket.
And that's like kind of cool, but sometimes it's cheesy, right?
Yeah.
Like on your back pocket
That's what I wanted to avoid.
Arbitrarily like a star or a heart. But the coin pocket is a way better idea. Like that's actually cool because it's kind of hidden, it's subtle, it's not in your face.
Yeah.
But it's there, so sometimes you get this little peek that's unique. So like for you to your dentist.
So I've never shown it.
So it's like
I've never shown it to anyone. And I've never posted photos of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's there.
There you go, YouTube.
You saw it here first.
Yeah. Coin pocket fades, baby.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Did you see that somewhere, or you just thought, oh, I'm gonna do this?
I forget if I saw it from Pigeon Tree or I've seen.
Okay.
Well, I know back in like college, my friend, he got his girlfriend at the time some nudies.
Okay.
And she put a little star keychain in her butt pocket.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it was cute, whatever.
But not the coin pocket though.
No.
Yeah.
So I wanted
because I've seen it in the back pocket, but I've never seen it in the coin pocket.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So.
Not that I've seen everything. I'm not saying that. I'm just.
Yeah. I wanted it to be subtle because I wanted.
That's cool.
I still wanted to create more of a generic sort of high contrast fade.
Yeah.
Where there's nothing too weird. Like no one's gonna look at it and be like, "Oh, I didn't like that."
Yeah.
So.
Well, so while we're on the topic of like weird things you never told anyone, so something I've never told anyone. You saw it here first. So in the right breast pocket of my TCB denim jacket, I carry. There's no fade that it goes with it, but I just know it's there. It's like sentimental thing. So it's one of my daughter's like hair bows from when she was like a little girl. And it's just like my sentimental thing of like,
That's cool.
it reminds me of my daughter and like when she was a little girl. And then no real reason, but like a gold coin. This is one of those Sacagawea gold coins from the U.S. Mint. Yeah. So it's just like, so I carry a gold coin and my daughter's bow in there. And I typically, if I put anything in my breast pocket, I put it in the left pocket. But anyways, that's kind of like my little secret. Yeah. So anyways, now everybody knows it's not a secret anymore.
But yeah, I've never done that again with any of my other pairs. I guess I could.
I feel like we need to buy, we both need to get like Ironheart 888s, which is like, they're like higher and do
the 634.
Yeah, there's a 634, which is like the closest to the classic
you
straight
didn't
cut.
get the 634, or you wouldn't get it because the rise wasn't high enough for your waist size.
So the 888 is my friend. I'm not on Instagram anymore. Douglas, I love you, sir. But yeah, he was like, you want the 888 probably because it has the higher rise, and the leg is not as wide as like a classic straight cut, but it's probably similar to like some of the narrower legs that we're wearing, like the 505s or the free note Belfords or something like that. So I was thinking 888, 25 ounce, put a little charm in the coin pocket.
Birthday brothers, we should
do that.
We should just go 25 ounce 888s.
Let's end this video right now and drive the south edge. No. The wives would be like, what are you doing? Yeah. Cool. Okay, let's check out your
I have one more.
Onies.
So this is my second pair of Secret Denim.
Okay.
The first one, well, I was still in my slim jean era. So those ones I had slimmed down to, I think, 6'7", leg opening. And then I wanted a straight leg. So I sold those. And then I found these, I think also on Son of a Stag. The 6, I can't remember, but it's a wide straight.
It's harder to find. It's harder to find this cut I've found.
The reason why I bought it as soon as I saw it, because I was like, I never see wide straight Secret Denim.
Yeah.
It's usually like a slim straight or pretty like a tapered, relaxed tapered or something.
And so what do you like about this fabric? I've had a couple pairs in the Secret Denim as well, but just for viewers, like,
so
what is so absolutely phenomenal about the Secret Denim?
So just first the color. I don't know how well it's going to be picked up on camera, but
we can put some stills
it's like an aqua indigo with it's not even just green cast. It's like there's actual green in this color. So color alone makes it unique compared to all the other like selvage raw denim that's out there. And then what's next is like the texture. It's so fuzzy and slubby, neppy almost.
Yeah, it's got this like hairiness, but not like, if we're talking hair follicles, it's not, like you said, it's fuzz. It's like peach fuzz hair.
Yeah.
Not like some denim you'll find in the hair is like, again, actual like visible follicles almost. It's like fuzz everywhere.
Yeah. It almost has like look, you could see, almost has like a flannel-y.
Yes. Finish. Yeah, like brushed flannel, totally.
So.
And not in a cheesy way, but it's just like super soft.
But, and this is, I think this is not their 21.5. I think this is just the 21 ounce one. So it really just feels like a fuzzy blanket. So.
Really soft. It's a loose weave. So yeah, it's like 20 ounces or so. So that's heavyweight. But like I had two pairs. It never felt like I was wearing heavyweight. It felt like I was wearing 16 ounce or something, 15 ounce midweight.
It literally feels like a flannel blanket when you're wearing it. I haven't faded them that much, but they're only going to get softer the more I wear them. Right now, I'm just happy I have them. I feel like at some point I want to get in and wear these like every day, fade them, make them even softer.
Ticho Blanco faded his for the Indigo Invitational one year, and the fade turned out exceptionally well.
His was slimmer.
Yes, yeah. And he had the little Tokyo cuff going on and stuff. Yeah. That was cool.
So I had these hemmed to length. So it's like a partial, just a slight break on the front of my shoes. But actually now, this is super on trend. So like I can wear, if I want that sort of trendy, sort of like wider straight leg to drape over my shoes, this is the pair I'd go for, because this is what all the kids are wearing, that like wide leg. But it still has that classic 5-pocket panel or 5-pocket design compared to the black signs. The black signs are also that like wider leg, but you got the single butt pocket and the buckle, and then it's just a different pattern. These ones are the classic 5-pocket, but with the white.
And the color, because like you said, it's got this aqua color to it, sort of. It makes it look a little more modern, but not too much. I don't know how to say that, but it doesn't read as like vintage garment, you know. It kind of brings it into like the modern, I don't know, what do you call zeitgeist. I'm trying to use like big words to impress people, but I don't know what they mean, so it's backfiring.
But yeah, that's all the lower or the bottoms of denim I have. I still have my.
Okay, well, yeah, I got a couple more. So, well, we already talked about these a little bit. The Wranglers, I did a whole review on these, so I can link that. But I guess what I like about Wranglers, like the smaller back pockets, they're a little higher, broken twill, so your legs aren't twisting, and it's kind of a unique fade pattern. The zipper is cool. I love button flies, but zipper's a nice change of pace.
I've actually got into zippers.
Oh yeah, do these have zippers? The 505s?
The 505s.
Yeah.
Remember when I first got the 505s? I was like, I keep forgetting that I have a fly or a zipper fly now. Like I think I missed the buttons.
Yes.
Now I love my zipper fly.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
And to not have to unbuckle my belt and like whatever every time I have to use the bathroom, it's like.
Yeah.
Laziness.
Yeah. Yeah, I can go both ways now. Whereas there was a while where I was like, you know, zippers are for sissies, you know, like I'm a vintage head, you know. Now I'm like, I think they're both cool. Just depends. I'm glad that I have both, you know. So that's those.
My favorite part is the 7 belt loops.
I'll bring them back. Yes. Yeah, that was I made a huge deal out of this on the review that
You're the one that made me realize that detail.
So your pants don't sag.
Because mine, I always get that drape in between the middle belt loop and then the side ones. it sags down sometimes below my
Yeah.
belt and just wrinkles weird.
The next best thing, if you don't have the 7 belt loops, is to buy from a brand that has a pass-through patch, like Naked and Famous or Freenote. I think Lee does this. But yeah, then it's like your pants only sag on one side. So you can get a lopsided sag instead of an
Ironheart.
sag. Oh, Ironheart does that. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the pass-through is sweet. Anyways, yeah, how could I forget? Thanks for bringing that up. But the Wranglers are cool. Nice, cheap. Probably, like, if you don't care about, like, being a purist, which I really enjoy the purist kind of thing, but not everyone has to care, and you're getting into raw denim, Wrangler rigid, they call it. So you want to find a pair that says the fabric is rigid. That's what I'm wearing right here. That's probably, like, the cheapest way to get into raw denim. Anyways. Okay, so let's jump into denim jackets. So you and I have recently made our, maybe not our first foray, but our first real foray into denim jackets. So yeah, let's talk about, we each have like one right now, right? So yeah, let's talk about
I definitely don't know too much about denim jackets or anything. I bought one years ago. This was back when I was like diving in and I was going like balls to the wall without really knowing anything just yet, where like I had no experience with denim jackets, but I'm going to go top of the line. I went full custom with Via Piana, got it. I thought it's what I wanted, and then after I wore it a little bit, didn't work. So moved that one on. 4 or 5 years passed, and then I wanted, recently my taste is a little bit more boxy, a little more cropped. So I was having a hard time finding an off-the-rack jacket that was cropped enough for what I was looking for. And then I went and visited Brogue, and talking with Mac, I tried on all the different jackets he had and ended up landing on this jacket. It's by At Last & Co. It was a shrink to fit, so when I tried it on in store, it was gigantic. The shoulders were way too wide. The sleeves covered half my hands. Yeah. The body length was way too long. And he was like, trust me, it's going to shrink. And I think this one's going to be perfect. And I trusted him. And I brought it home. I washed it. I ran it warm, not hot. But I put it through like a warm, dry cycle as well. Okay. Because I was scared it wasn't going to shrink. And I think it came out perfect. And then when I posted pictures of it on Instagram, Mac DM'd me and he was like, not going to lie, I didn't know if it was going to work for you. But he was so confident in person. He was like, oh, that worked out great. Like, good thing, because
yeah,
thanks, it's really reassuring.
Yeah, it's like one of the better looking fits on a denim jacket I've seen. And
all the modern fits,
yeah,
I think, I don't like how long in the body they are.
Yeah, or they're boxy in a bad way. Like it's like it's just too big. Whereas this is like cropped, boxy, exceptional looking type 1 denim jacket.
Yeah. So in terms of cut, for jackets in general, I like cropped shorter with a little bit of boxiness to it. Because I've found that if you go too tailored with cropped, it can be a little awkward or not feminine, but like when it's so cropped.
I don't know.
Well, the boxiness of it keeps a little more of that, like, I feel like it's more stylistic. It's more like, it's not just too small for you. It looks like it's an intentional crop.
Yes.
Whereas if it's very slim, like tight around your torso and really cropped, it can almost borderline looking like you just got a size too small.
Yeah. Yeah, so, it looks like silly.
Yeah.
Like a mistake.
It's like, so
like
when
you think you look good and no one else does. Yeah.
So the fact that it does have a little bit more roominess in the body, so it's not super slim, but it has that more cropped look, gives it more of like, I did this intentionally. And I think it's really flattering. And it's more comfortable too when it's not super tailored.
Yeah.
I'm way, like, in my experience, I've gone from super slim, which was like uncomfortable. Like, did it look good? Like, if that's your taste, yeah. But is it comfortable? Definitely not. Like, you're not gonna convince anyone that skin tight jeans are more comfortable than the relaxed wide leg.
Yeah.
But then I went the fully other end of the spectrum, went 10 plus inch leg openings. Super comfortable, but definitely not, you couldn't dress it up. It's like it looks like workwear. It's comfortable. Whereas now I found that with that like slim straight, where it's still wide enough to fit over pull-on boots, but slim enough where you look put together. I found that's the sweet spot that I sit in now. So with this, it's boxier in the body, so it's comfortable. But I think the cropped length is actually comfortable too, because then when you sit in your car to drive, it doesn't like, you know, when a jacket's too long, and then, especially it's true with leather jackets because they're so stiff.
Yeah.
This is why I sold my, not denim, but I sold my Himmel jacket. It's because the body length was like 25 and a half or 26 inches. So when I sit in my car to drive, my jacket collar's like at my ears.
Totally.
Because it hits the seat.
Yeah.
So now all my leather jackets have like around a 23 inch body. So it's cropped. I find it more comfortable. And then when you sit down, it doesn't like,
Yeah, totally.
So
maybe hold it so,
No.
and we can put some pictures up too.
Yeah.
So you can just see like I can help you too. Like the
So-
front. It's a type 1, so you got the front pocket, but not on that side.
It's still relatively new. I've worn it maybe like 12 to 15 times. So
Yeah, so no fades yet.
No fades, but
it's gorgeous fabric.
promising.
It's kind of hairy, furry, fuzzy. Yeah, this is great.
And the brand is cool too. It feels like one of those, if you know, kind of exclusive sort of brands, because you can't sell it really online. So when I bought it from Brogue, you have to go in store and buy it.
You can't just buy it online.
They don't have it listed on the website because that's
super
that's
cool.
the agreement.
I love
think.
that. We should go to Brogue.
Yeah. After this.
And this is, as far as I know, it's a type 1 that's supposed to be like a wartime one, because I think they took the pocket flap off during the war and then put it back on after. And then in the 50s is when they changed to the type 2 with the pocket on each side.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I like
super cool.
without the pocket flap. It gives it's a more simple, clean
Yes.
look. I like the back cinch.
Is it a spike cinch? Yeah, it is. That's cool.
Yeah,
With the
so-
2 little spikes. I like spike cinch.
So I
instead of-
tend to need larger sized garments because I'm a little bit more broad in the shoulder from working out. So I like boxy, but not too boxy. So then, as opposed to the like side cinches, you can see I cinched it in a little bit with the center back cinch to pull it in just a little bit so it wasn't too boxy. So,
And you know what? The side adjusters are kind of dumb, because if you've ever seen someone use them,
it's like
you get these weird,
darts.
it's like these like weird wrinkles down the side that you can see from the front. Whereas the back cinch is great because you just pull in that fabric in the center back, so that if someone's looking at you from the front, it doesn't look weird.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get some like cinching fades down right here probably, but I don't mind it.
Yeah, so like this is a type 2, so it's got the side adjusters, and I never use them, but if you did, you'd get this weird crease thing like this, you know, and it just looks odd. So, I mean, I'm sure if the fabric softened, it wouldn't be that bad, but
Yeah.
I just still think that's a better design. So, yeah, anything else to say about that?
No, this is my first venture into like an actual denim jacket that I like the fit of. So don't have too much experience yet, but you can follow my journey follow along on my Instagram.
Yes.
But-
Denim Dentist on Instagram.
Yeah, tell me about the TCB.
Okay, so this is a TCB 50 jacket, aka a reproduction of a Levi Type 2 jacket, where you have 2 flat pockets on the front. And then on the back, there's no cinch like he had. You just have the 2 little side adjusters on the left and right in the back. That's what makes it a type 2. I actually have been more interested in the type 3 lately.
Really?
Which I originally didn't love it.
The trucker?
Yeah, the trucker. Because it's like everyone has one, so I was never interested. And then I realized maybe if I found the right one, like a really nice one from a Japanese repro company or something, or maybe, then I probably would be into it. But anyways,
yeah, when you look at like a lot of those sort of rockers or whatever from that era that I like the jeans, they're all wearing the type 3.
Yeah.
So
it's like the classic denim jacket, really. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see any of them really wearing a type 1 or type 2.
Yeah.
So
one, I don't know if this is just personal bias or that I'm used to seeing Levi products, but I feel like Levi's jackets stylistically and in a fashion sense have done better than Lee and Wrangler, because in my opinion, again, maybe I'm biased, they just don't look as good. Like they're not designed beautifully. Like the Wrangler jackets tend to just look odd. Like the pockets are in weird places. The lines are not really like attractive, the Lee as well. The Lee has these weird like rounder pockets that are sort of like awkwardly shaped. I just think it's not this jacket that as soon as you see it, you're like, wow, that's really alluring, or like that really like draws you in. I think it's.
Or do you think we've been brainwashed because we see all those vintage photos of the Levi's ones, that's what we envision as an ideal pattern?
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe it's because I saw that first, but I don't know that I can get away from that. Like I have some interest in those jackets. I think eventually I'll try to get a repro of some of those or whatever. But as for the time being, like this type 2 is really cool. I think your type 1 is incredible. One of the best fitting denim jackets I've seen. And then the type 3 seems really nice as long as you can get like a really nicely made one. Because I think a lot of the modern ones I see
too long.
Yeah, they're too long, too big. Like I tried one on in Target the other day just for kicks, and it's just like, this is a cheaply made garment with like just this abominable pattern. Like this is deplorable, So if I got a nice one, maybe I wouldn't feel that way. Because my first denim jacket was actually an unbranded brand jacket. It was supposed to match the 21-ounce jeans. And it was a slim fit. So, and I'm not particularly muscular, but it was not comfortable. Like it was too slim because the fabric has no give to it. So it was like really
21
tight.
Ounce. Was it 21 ounce?
No, this one was a 14.5 ounce, but it was just supposed to match that. Like I bought them around the same time. It's supposed to be like, oh, the denim's the same color. But it was like tight around the forearms, which again, I'm not that muscular, so it's like, wow.
Modern cuts
like
have really slim arms.
It's weird.
And are really long in the torso.
Yeah.
I found.
That's how it was. Yeah, it was tight there, tight in the shoulders, tight across the chest. It was just, and then if I had sized up, then it'd be like the sleeves are too long, and like, so it was like, this is just not a good fit. I don't know whose body would fit this, but not mine, so I did that. And then I had a Levi type 1, which wasn't great.
I remember you bought that with your wife, right?
Yeah. So she still has hers. And mine is being worn by a friend right now. So, this is what I wear. So, yeah. And it's starting to fade a lot.
It looks good.
I'm trying to think how many wears do I have on this thing. I want to say like 150 wears, 160. But jackets don't fade as fast. Like, if I had 160 wears on some jeans, they would look really, really faded. This, if you look closely, you can see that it's fading, but it's not going to look faded from afar for probably like at least another 100 wears, And I even chucked like a little bit of bleach in the wash with this last time I washed it, and it made it pop a little. It brought out some of the fades that I do have, but I think I have a long way to go. But even though fading a denim jacket is a long-term commitment, I'd say it's worth it. Yeah. So
I think that's what kept me from buying a denim jacket a while ago, was because it's such a slow fader that you need to find the perfect one that you're going to invest the
really do.
years into.
Yeah.
So I hadn't found one until I came across this one. But well, it's hard to fade. What makes fading a denim jacket hard is I'm also trying to break in my leather jackets. So now I'm currently wearing like my leather jackets almost every day, just to try to break that in. I wear them in the rain and all that. But
yeah,
at some point, or I mean, on my off days, I wear that.
Yeah, it's cool.
But it also turns my stuff blue. So I have to. And I have all white fabric couches and stuff, so I have to be very careful.
I think what's hard for me is like, I'm not against double denim, but I don't want to wear it every single day. And I have a job where I see a lot of people, and I just don't want to be the guy that has the same clothes on every day. So whereas some people have a job where they can just wear the denim jacket every day or do double denim every day, I don't feel like I can do that. Maybe it's just because I care too much about what people think, but I do think it's just odd in an outward-facing job to have double denim all day, every day. So then I could wear like tan pants or black pants or something like that so that I can wear the denim jacket, I guess.
But if you're trying to fade your jeans, it's like...
Exactly. So
if you have to pick one, you pick the jeans.
Yeah. So I guess that'd be the advice that we're giving you folks. Like if you're not into denim jackets yet, if you want to do raw denim, you can do the jeans like everyone does. And then if you do jackets, unless you think you're the kind of person that can wear a denim jacket like every day, like Jeff said, just buy one and stick with it. Yeah.
You have to love the cut. Yeah. Because what I got afraid of is I wear this jean jacket for 6 months and the cut isn't perfect. And then it's always going to nag at you until you do find one that you do love.
Yeah.
And then you have to start over and you just wasted 6 months.
Yeah.
And like probably $300.
Yes.
On a denim jacket that you didn't love.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, because the fit is king, as they say. So the fit has to be like essentially perfect if you're going to dedicate yourself to a single denim jacket. And then the function has to be there, like the different features that it has, Yeah. So, and there's so many to choose from. There's no reason to settle for something you don't like. Yeah. It's not like the company you're going to buy this from is the only person they can sell it to you. You can go to like 300 different companies. Yeah, so just do your homework and find the right one. Yeah.
And I mean, my preference for cropped bodies, it's a personal preference. Like, I know so many people online that love the Ironheart denim jacket that they have, but the body length is like 26.5 inches or something.
Yeah, because they don't tuck their shirts, so it's like...
Oh, yeah, that's another thing.
That makes sense. So if you don't want to tuck your shirt, then you want a longer body because you don't want your t-shirt sticking way out beneath your jacket. But I go untucked a lot, but I also tuck a lot like you, and so we both,
lately,
do both.
I'm tucked right now.
Yeah.
But lately, if you see my Instagram, I scissor crop a lot of my t-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm lazy. So then I end up getting the tucked proportion, but I don't have to tuck.
So to wrap this up, let's have the last thing we talk about be, where do you want your denim journey to take you from here?
I think I'm just going to keep buying denim instead of fading what I already have. No way, Jeff. Me too.
Well, hey, thanks for being on the channel today. I think this is a fantastic video. I had a lot of fun, and so hopefully people had a lot of fun watching it.
Cool.
All right, well, until next time, folks.
Oh, yeah. Let your jeans take you to places
more important than the jeans themselves. Adios.